But we begin this morning in East Palestine, Ohio. You heard from the mayor just a few moments ago. People in his city are afraid to drink the water, breathe the air, even live in their own homes. Nearly 2 weeks after a train that was packed with dangerous toxic chemicals crashed and burned in their small town.
So the cleanup effort is underway here. And Caitlin, I want to show you some of what's happening here. This is along an area called Leslie Run. This runs throughout East Palestine. Down here along this creek here, you can see what they're doing is they're aerating the water here. They're pumping more oxygen into this waterway with the hope that it will break down some of the chemicals. And I want to show you some of these blue tankers over in this direction. So what we're told is some of these tankers could end up containing some of that contaminated soil that they're going to be digging out and carrying out from the site of the derailment, bringing it here and then taking it to another location. So the cleanup effort out here continuing. And a lot of people out here feel as though they're wondering, how long is this effort going to take? Again, who's going to be responsible years from now? A lot of still unanswered questions.
The company saying that their employees were scared to go, but these residents are just as scared. They don't know how long that cleanup effort that you're seeing there is going to take. Jason Carroll, that's a fantastic report. Thank you.
Yeah. And let's talk to one of them now, because joining me now, East Palestine resident Jamie Koza, who lives near the train derailment. She and her daughter were forced to flee their home, which is just steps away from the creek. She attended the town hall last night.
They did tell me yesterday the railroad offered to pay all of my moving expenses. My house is not safe to be in. The only reason why I know that is because when they came to do air testing, I was demanding to know about the soil in the water that's 7 steps from my porch. So the railroad sent out his toxologist, who deemed my house not safe. But had I not used my voice, had I not thrown a fit, I would be sitting in that house right now when they told me that it was safe. And my concern is, how many of those kids are laying in their bed in East Palestine right now that are not safe, who was not afforded the same, special attention that I got from the railroad. They told me that it was safe to go home. Had I gone home, would I be here right now to talk to you? I absolutely do not trust them. The first thing I did was reach out to a friend of mine at the nonprofit River Valley Organizing. We're having a meeting next week. We're bringing in scientists from the University of Kentucky in Pittsburgh. They will be offering free soil and water samples to anyone in our town. That's what needs to happen now. We as a community have to fight this, or no one else is.
Listen, all of this has taken you not more than outside of your routine. I mean, there are things that you have to do now that you didn't have to do before, right? Because you were comfortably in your home. This costs money. Who's paying for all of this? The hotel, et cetera.
The railroad has been paying for the hotel since day one. The issue with that is the closest hotel we could find is about a 60-mile round trip. We are very rural. We were being told that we had to come back to East Palestine each day to turn in the receipts so that we could afford the next night in the hotel. They since then have moved that assistance center outside of town. Saturday, we waited 6 hours to get our reimbursement. So the railroad is dealing with that part of it. But to me, there's a bigger issue. It's not about the money. It's about our health.
Leading this hour, mounting frustration and fear in the aftermath of that Ohio train derailment. Ohio's governor now wants the CDC to immediately send medical experts to East Palestine, Ohio, to evaluate residents who have suffered from headaches and rashes since the train derailment and that controlled release of all those toxic chemicals. And with rain in the forecast, there are additional concerns that the toxic chemicals that have not been removed yet from the immediate crash site could wash into local waterways.
It's not just the absence of Norfolk Southern that has some upset.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as me. Yesterday was the first time I heard anything from the White House.
Norfolk Southern, the railway in question, they made billions in profit last year, yet they're handing over a paltry $1 million to the citizens of East Palestine to deal with this crisis. And Bill, tell us more about Norfolk Southern, because They were bragging in their press releases about how many billions they made last year, and yet I'm really kind of unimpressed by their refusal to show up at the town hall.
Just for perspective, back in 2015, they crashed a train in South Carolina that killed 9 people. They had to treat 851 people. In the end, after fighting with the APA, they paid a $4 million fine and then had to restock the lake with some fish.
Yeah, $4 million. That's like change in the sofa at Norfolk Southern.